Welcome back to Case Closed Anime Review, episode 158. This time I'm viewing the newest episode of the series, which is basically called Birthday Party Divine Punishment Part 2, and the 1095th chapter of the manga. This episode pretty much finished up this arc, I think chapters 1049 to 1050. Yep. So, we find out who the murderer is in this one. We'll get to that. So, basically, we have some stuff, mostly just follow the chapters pretty well here. Like, they do point out something that's a hint of who the murderer is in this two-parter, with this black ink being on the floor. So, basically, one of the first things they find out in this episode is that there's a marker in the kitchen garbage. Yep, a marker. Yes. They expect, part marker, and of course, its suspicion is possibly thrown on the pastry chef, and it turns out the reason why he's a serial complainer. Because he complained about various restaurants. He even complains something as ridiculous as the parallel shape of forks and knives, even through a fork and employee, which resulted in him having to issue an apology for that. And there's also hints of basically where the manager, of course, will talk about prioritizing certain models, asking for their bus, so he bus waist, basically ask for the measurements so he can buy them clothes. In the case of, Remy, she doesn't really, aside from the fact he frequently hit on her, didn't exactly give a good reason. And of course, her sister, Yumi, well, she would go back to her makeup room to check to see if there's any half-drinking drinks or snacks left behind. Because someone's been taking them. Why the heck would it take something as simple as half drinks? Well, because it relates to murder. So, it is found out that the manager is responsible for the murder. Yes, the manager. The reason why is because he was blackmailed over the stealing those stuff. And apparently he's like, I had to kill him because he kept raising the price. So he takes a chair. And by the way, during the episode, the whole thing before this, we do see that the whole marker of the suspect, the very marker that was used to autograph Rand's book in the previous episode didn't work. He was making it work thanks to nail polish remover. Yes, seriously, nail polish remover. And by the way, there's a flashback related to Mary. I'll get to that. So, yeah, and of course, Conan and Sarah point out, though, that stain was not there when the birthday party happened. That happened after the birthday party. That happened after the whole birthday thing happened. And they used to think, maybe it was poisoned by accident. Nope, it was by purpose. Yeah, and the spec is, and so basically the manager, apparently he's fallen in love with Remy. Why the heck would this happen? Never explained. In the manga, it's never explained at all. Just, he fell for her. Like, at what point? Don't know. He starts random attacking. And of course, you have Sarah protecting Conan just so she can steal his medicine case, which has the antidote pill. While Rand proceeds to kick the chair out of his hand, which results in the chair going to the freaking ceiling. And then she just kicks him right on top of the head, knocking him out. First time in a while she used her martial arts. And of course the guy gets arrested. And of course, I had to go. And yeah, then of course she calls her mom later on to basically, if she got to open the case later after making the phone call, damn, not there. And then she ends with that brat. Now let's talk about the flashback, which apparently this flashback took place at the same time as an actual canon case. Yes. We pick up with a flashback of last time. We have Vermouth confronting Mary. And they mentioned the whole thing about the daughter and the fact she's here just to kill her. So then she proceeds to take the pill that she just sprang out, put it in her mouth, and sort of force feed the Mary by making out with her. Yeah, and of course, I'm sure Verma is like, soft lips. Yeah, I'm not really sure why Verma did this for. In the manga, why the heck she used a particular method is never actually explained. And then, of course, you start basically steaming. Now, in the case of Conan, this never actually was explained he was never shown steaming when he got poisoned. He just basically got knocked out, and then he woke up shrunk. In here, you see her steaming, and then we see her found shrunk, where she goes back to the hotel room she was staying at, where she tells her daughter that it's her that's being shrunk, and then she proceeds to take a shower, and it's revealed that this flashback takes place during, get this, the second to last time Conan transformed into Sichi. This was the Conan London story arc, which was by far a really good story arc, and this story arc has gotten a lot of flack over the years due to a critically important scene down in a flashback. Like, people thought, oh, maybe the anime fixed this. Nope, they kept it as a freaking flashback. Where this was the particular arc where it's important for two things. Conan going to London, seeing the whole Sherlock Holmes stuff, a tennis match, and also the biggest thing related to this thing, which also is followed up in this school trip, Sichi confessing his feelings for Ran. Yep. And that happened, I think, before this happened. I'm not really sure. At some point it did. And, of course, they see him on TV. And they suspect, basically, he's a victim of drug, too, in this episode. And then they come back to present-day stuff. But, yeah, damn good two-parter. Though next week we're going back to anime original content. A two-parter. Yes, a two-parter known as the Red Sheep Eerie Game, which involves chefs. Okay, so now move on to the newest chapter of the manga, chapter 1095, 3 Ciphers, which is part 2 of the story. Yep, which, by the way, this is the second time we had a case happen at a hotel that Sarah's staying at. So, we pick up right where we left off last time, where Conan's talking to his girlfriend's mom. And apparently she's the legal consultant for the hotel. About Cipher. It's like talking about using Corey Morgan's name. Like, no, because she doesn't like it very much because that they're separated. It's like, please. Oh, we had no idea he's your husband. Yep. Oh, I'm gonna cry at my husband soon. And of course, Conan and Sarah are like, what? So basically, like, as he gets a cipher, it's really the whole thing. They look at the cipher, look at various numbers. I'm basically having my phone on my laptop here. So they figure out basically that like Cypher's big address, and they talk to basically somebody staying in the hotel, and they got the room key via base. And also, it turns out, and then we have Sarah briefly talk to her mom about the whole thing. Yeah, so, and the taco thing comes naturally. They may have to move hotels again. Yeah, they keep changing hotels. That's a recurring plot of the series. Who this person is not explained yet at this point. Who could have been? Could it possibly be Sarah's father? Don't know. So, thanks for convincing, and of course talking to various people. Then we get to the guy's room, and apparently the guy is not a big fan with several different hotels. But apparently he's been at two different hotels, but not this hotel. Oh no, not this hotel. So they talk to him, and of course, basically, it's like can't search the room. And then, of course, a woman claiming to be another. So it's presumed he was probably having sex with her, and he got interrupted. He had to put his pants back on. Yeah, it's a good thing he didn't have his pants undone. Let's see. No, his pants are perfectly normal. Yeah. So they kind of look around his room. His room is a mess, somewhat of a mess. We see a laptop, and of course, like basically the bed was out of order, and of course, and I think it's code buttons on the keyboard. And, oh, by the way, they also have where Sarah is basically like being monitored by her own mom, have their phones connected, just so they can hear all the conversations. Of course, they get out, and like they gotta figure out who the Ciphers is, so I think they're in trouble in 10 minutes. And that's the chapter itself. It's a good chapter, and I loved more advancements up with Sarah and Mary. I think that's great. And I can't wait for the next chapter. Now, the thing is not say it's going to include next chapter, but I'm hoping not, because I'm getting really sick and tired of these basically being three-parters. Am I going to drop the series just because of all the three-parter stuff? No, I'm still going to read it. I just wish we actually have a four-parter for once. I mean, why does it have to be three-parter? It's too quick. This basically is a good four-parter right here. Yeah. So, that's it for So Glad You. Next one's going to be Baruto. Okay, next video. Bye.